Hey everyone, welcome to. We're just gonna do a quick talk back about
special edition of Afterwards.
Yeah,
kind of
yes,
like a season finale.
Yeah, kind of a big afterwards.
Talking Dead of Threshold.
Yeah, there you
We're
go.
talking Threshold.
This is the Survivor after the Survivor finale. This is like this is
right.
like the afterwards.
Threshold All Stars.
So. Questions, comments, concerns, just for.
I guess should we introduce Rob? Really quick?
Rob.
What's up, guys?
He was in Heroes.
I got to play a dwarf for a second, but anyway, it's been fun getting on camera a little more. I'll probably be in a few more Heroes episodes, but anyway, I'm kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah, Rob runs the camera and all of that stuff. So
Nice to meet you guys.
So, questions, comments, concerns.
Oh, that was a lot.
That was a heavy.
Big, crammed a lot. Yeah,
that was the season finale. That's what it was. I mean, that's what you expect from a season finale.
I did cut something.
You did?
I did. I cut. I was gonna have the Night Tower, like sort of as you guys dealt when you cut Gray down, because I expected him to not last very long.
Mm-hmm.
When you guys cut him down, I was expecting. I was gonna have the shadow from the Night Tower, like the remnants, kind of inhabit him, to have him be like when you guys fought in the Night Tower the first time. I was gonna bring some of that in, but I was just looking at our time, and it just kind of didn't. I sort of felt like putting Marrington at stake kind of brought enough of that in there.
I was a little bit probably misdirected a little bit. I felt when. We had this big fight and this big storm. It was awesome because I was walking down. The entire time walking down, I was picturing, Agent Smith. Just like, had that I loved it. But I felt like all the storm and light action was a part of Garay's situation. I thought he was doing that. So I figured he had some sort of like witches or some crap up in the Night Tower that we had to take care of.
Honestly, I was expecting another fight at the Night Tower.
Same
Which, I mean, was just totally.
I actually did. I get to watch it as an audience member as well. So like Steven knows most of, all the story, and I know like half of it. But I thought that the ghost was gonna possess Gray.
Yeah,
that's what was. This
isn't even my final form. And then he
exactly. He was
awesome.
gonna show his final form. But that's a CR6 encounter on its own, and we just didn't have time for it.
You were probably running out of spells at that point, right?
I actually had. I mean, I was out of. It was about at half power.
Okay.
A little less than half. I had a few more to throw around.
Yeah, so I guess I was just confused about how the storm is being caused by the moon goddess being trapped in the block, but then it's...
That's partly because I had to cut the shadow. I had to because I cut the shadow because the storm is reminiscent of when you guys went into the Night Tower the last time.
Right.
Then it was going to make a bit more sense. But again, just for time purposes. So that's why that felt kind of a little bizarre. It was supposed to come out of the Night Tower and inhabit Gray.
Oh, I just thought it was Gray was taking advantage of the situation that it's dark and stormy, and somehow we
planned his attack.
Maybe I gave Gray way too much credit. I thought that was his threat to destroy the town. I thought he was planning to do it with the storm.
Oh,
yeah, same here. That's
I thought that was his threat coming into action.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have. I should have probably waited until after you guys got to Gray to do the storm. But I definitely needed the storm to be foreboding.
Gotcha.
It certainly was that, regardless of what its source was.
The scene really well, yeah.
Because I was thinking that how is Gray going to burn the town down when it's like just raining? And so, I for a while I thought that Gray had already planned or had plans in the works to destroy the town already, and it was just about getting me leaving and the town would just have been vaporized or something like that. And but when it became clear that there was something else going on, and it wasn't Gray's plan. Also, he I did not expect him to be. Maybe so easy to kill, or so.
He's a man.
He's a man, yeah. But I was thinking that he might have been like that. This situation felt a little too engineered. Like I was like metagaming in my mind, like how many, not by you, but by another character or by an outside influence.
Oh, this is maybe a little too convenient.
Yeah, a little too convenient, a little too easy. Like he wasn't surrounded by anyone particularly difficult to kill.
I think he just thought that the numbers would be intimidating.
Gotcha. Underestimated you guys.
All right, he didn't expect us to have a militia to fight him out.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe he's underestimated.
And shatter bombs.
And
That fight would have been so much harder because those guys have like 11 hit points each.
Yeah.
So when you deal 10 damage to 10 of them, 10 out of the 12.
Yeah, some lucky rolls.
a mercilessly poignant insult can take one down.
That was great.
You're right. I really loved that.
That was wonderful.
You know what? You're right. Like you just convinced me.
Yeah.
You just died.
I was really happy that even though probably the 3 guys I hit in a row were all at 1 HP.
Oh no, that was
like it just felt so good to like finally have a
moment.
I have moments, but like that really felt like I use a maneuver. And then I got to like actually use my fighting abilities because a lot of times I miss so much that it just doesn't matter. So
yeah, you hit pretty consistently. I was
really surprised.
There were a lot of good rolls, and you were actually not rolling that well for once, it seemed.
No,
like,
I was not
stuff,
hot.
So.
Well, Gregory wasn't in this fight. I was going to give you guys Gregory originally, but
Berserker mode.
Yeah, but I decided to let you guys have a little more.
Dude, you guys this whole season have melted some bosses. We're going to have to make them a little stronger season 2.
As soon as that Dungeon Master's Guide is out,
which it's like available
it's like 11.
we're like it'll be available by the time this airs probably. So
this has all been
it airs tomorrow.
Right, time travel.
This has all been Sans Dungeon Master's Guide. So hopefully, Gray actually was on target for a boss. Because that was an appropriate encounter with those 13 guys.
Right.
But a lot of the bosses has been kind of a balancing act. So I'm going to be very excited to have some like concrete stats for like putting these things together.
I don't know. I thought the Wendigos were actually really tough.
They got tougher after I bumped their HP by 20
after
points.
I one-shot it.
Was that Chromatic Orb?
Yeah.
After
it was cast as a level 2 spell, Chromatic Orb critting. Yeah.
Yeah. So after they got melted,
it's a lot of damage.
And so it's a lot of give and take, like kind of finding a balance when we don't really have anything to go off of.
Oh, I didn't see him. Huh? I mean,
as far as
around
monsters. Sorry.
Yeah. I thought that Gray held on. Like every round, he was getting hit by 1 or 2 guys, and he was still going. Like I definitely felt like he was a long battle.
He's actually the veteran template, not template, but the veteran NPC in the Monster Manual. So he's only like a CR3. But he managed to hang on, and I also did not have the full strength of the party. A lot of it was diverted in a lot of different directions, which is it helps giving some squishies for you guys to.
And don't forget the level 4 werewolf that we had too.
Yeah.
How was it being a werewolf?
So so the first time I just got like tied up immediately, so I didn't get to like build out that it is like an alternate. I definitely like that it's an alternate ego and that it's like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. And so I really enjoyed.
Would you have been upset if at the end of the session I had given you sentience while you were the werewolf from the Moon Goddess?
No. I thought it was already in the works. Like, it took some coercion, but I definitely thought it was in the works, but again, I didn't want to change in the middle of everything, so I walked out of the room.
I really like how, depending on how you guys roll, Claren's either like a boon or a bane. Basically, like he's really risky to use as a weapon, but he can really mess some shit up.
Yeah, if it turns. Yeah, it's
And now Vel Wolf question mark.
I do know. You didn't see the roll?
No.
Okay, I know what it is.
Okay.
Do you want me to reveal the results, or do you want me to wait?
No, wait. I want that.
Season 1. That's season 2. Hope.
Sure. Yeah. Let's keep that a secret. That's cool.
It'll live with that for a couple
I'm not gonna futz with it. I'm gonna take the roll what it was.
Fair enough.
I just also like that we were talking about making this arc. We put basically you guys had the end MacGuffin from the very first episode.
Yeah,
which was pretty cool.
Really fun.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Did that feel like it came together?
That was good.
Yes.
I really tied up.
I was hoping like the whole time, like just playing through the whole thing. The whole time, I'm like, man, I hope I'm playing this correctly and stuff. But it seemed to work out okay, and. Yeah.
I had as far as like what the ritual was.
And just like is it really time for me to do this already, or that that
follow
kind of
your
thing.
instincts.
So I mean that's why I did it. So
I kind of felt like we're presented with obviously this very powerful moment, and I felt like I was kind of just grabbing at straws a little bit, trying to figure out what I should do to make the best of the moment.
Okay.
So I was like,
we haven't had anything. Like, again, just like anything else, go with your impulses and I'll make it work. I would have much rather, because you guys were kind of like, I would have rather have just seen like huge choices, because then we can work with that. Because I don't have anything planned for this. I have 3 question marks for that whole scene.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make sure that it was not a scene that I had pre-scripted, but rather a scene that you guys orchestrated yourselves. I actually was hoping that Rasper was going to just break open
I was thinking about
the stone.
I
was hoping
hammer.
for that.
I had that hammer still, but
next time, go for it.
Well, but I thought it was their moment.
No. I don't. Especially for a big moment, like the best moments are when you guys all synergize together. Don't be like, I'm.
Well, I was thinking more like for Rasper, he doesn't really understand magic, and he's kind of afraid of it. It's like the one like. He might appear very, like strong and rigid on the outside, but like there are things that scare him that he doesn't understand, and magic is one of them.
But that's how you get that great like Gimli moment of him hitting the ring with his hammer, like that kind of stuff. If magic just hits you right back in the face, it's awesome.
Very well could have worked out well, but I felt in the moment that
fair enough.
Yeah.
No, I mean
he saw 2 other people that knew what they were doing, and he kind of
backed off.
Yeah, then if that was your impulse as well, then that's great. Actually, I mean, just follow those.
I had that exact same impulse, like hit it with my axe. I was like, no, that's dumb, Pamela. Why are you doing that?
No, there's nothing, no such thing as dumb.
Yeah. So I had the same sort of impulse, but
if you feel lost, just make a big choice, because a lot of the time I was just hoping, kind of waiting for someone to just make up whatever ritual they wanted or.
I think we did with me being punched in the face and then
I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, the whole thing has really like fueled our D&D playing. Like we were talking a little bit off camera about how the D&D, this is the best D&D like we've ever played because of the show, which is kind of a weird side effect that we never thought would happen. It's really elevated the level of play that we, have always wished we could make. Like no cell phones, everyone taking turns for everyone to speak, and like honestly, even the scene work, like this whole scene with you guys, was it episode 11, which actually isn't out yet, but hasn't aired yet, but with you guys, with your whole arc.
By the time this happens, it will have aired.
Your whole goddamn time travel. But yeah, there's some really cool, like your kind of acting backgrounds popping out, which interestingly doesn't really happen in our own sessions as much, like off-camera stuff, like real scene work happening, real like emotional, I don't know, catharsis kind of stuff happening. Yeah. It's been fun.
It has been fun. I'm really excited for season 2.
We'll get to season 2 in a minute, because we're going to do a big talk about sort of what our expectations are for coming back. But I would like to talk sort of the season 1 arc as a whole. Anything, because and sort of your thoughts on it.
For me, it felt like it really picked up when we got to Easterton. I feel like everything before that, we were trying to find our feet. We were trying to find out what is this? What are we doing? Like, what is this show that we're doing? Like, we didn't know any of that. We were just kind of grasping and figuring things out. And then when we, right around, Claire Wolf and getting to Easterton, everything kind of started to make sense, and it kind of really felt like we've hit our stride. We know what we're doing. We know who our characters are. And just as people develop, so will our characters. So that's kind of my biggest thing. I don't remember what we did in the pilot. Like I just don't remember.
The show really came together once I joined the cast.
Yeah,
is basically what you're saying. And I agree. So, no, it really did. There was a nice progression as we really found our feet, though. I agree with you, and it's been it's been so much fun to do this.
It's been the highlight of my week if I ever had one.
I feel like we ended at a really good spot in terms of being able to wrap up this province as an area on the map. almost like I'm thinking like
For now,
in a game. Well, for now, but like
Easter's
like,
still sitting over there.
we have
being
a
unpleasant.
really good idea of like the area of Easterton and the surrounding lands and up north and
the Fanged Coast region.
yeah, I've kind of become comfortable with this region now. Like before, it was like you only see this like tiny speck of the world and you're in this tunnel, but now it's kind of grown out.
We started at Xerathane, and then now it's like
now-
it's like there we are, and then like all of a sudden it's just like okay, now we go to Marenton, okay, now we're going to Easter, okay, now we've gone to the north.
No,
Like,
it's cool.
yeah, I
It's
completely
really
agree.
cool.
It
Yeah.
feels like we've got a world now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's something there.
Yeah, and also just locations that are mentioned, like Half-Breed Island, out in the steppes, out on
we
the side.
actually, we have the air. We actually know where Half-Breed Island is on the map.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't exist
Yeah.
yet.
The future side of
The
how
future, yeah. Now coming soon, Half-Breed Island.
It's like
We-
Sandals
yeah.
Resort. Like it's
There's a
Except there's
Guys.
apparently there's slavery there.
Guys.
Though.
Guys. The Threshold Heroes, Half-Breed Island.
They all make half-breeds.
Founding of Half-Breed
Founded.
Island.
But no,
So
it's
this will
a
be like in the
episode.
future.
It'll be in the future.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's
Time
great.
text.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Hardcore.
Or
time.
that's sort of a season 2 thing of whether we're gonna do the time jump or not that we had briefly
Yeah,
discussed.
we were
Yeah.
talking about doing a couple
Yeah.
of years, huh?
But we'll talk about that in a minute. Anything else? Anyone needs
Books
any?
that still need closing, I guess would be yes.
Yeah. There are some hanging plot threads. I have not dropped those. At least I don't think.
We're not
And-
pulling a Lost.
Oh, you hurt my heart.
I know.
I loved Lost so much.
Well, I like that we have, we established story arcs for all of us. We closed some up, opened up other ones for some people, and also have our original ones for some.
Everyone
Yeah.
feel their story arc was. Clarion, I know we've talked a little bit, but we're gonna solve your problem way hard.
Yeah, I've figured. Yeah, that I mean,
I want to know. how
talking
you got-
about it, knowing like getting everything in store. It was like nothing. I didn't feel very much like a character until Stephen approached me. He's like, "Maybe you're a werewolf," and I was like, "Okay." And then like it just kind of happened, and then like now I had established my character because I was just like fumbling through things, and there's only 2 songs to sing.
That is on so high on my list. I have another
Yes.
one that I wrote for you over
I'm totally
Thanksgiving.
gonna watch all of season 1 and like maybe I've just got to take a. I'm gonna take a.
That'd be
strong,
great. I'm
strong presence.
My
into-
goal is to write you like, at least me personally, 4 or 5 like songs that are particularly battle themed.
Mhm.
So we can kind of, because now that I sort of realize that's your thing, I'll take a little bit of our time off, and I'm gonna try to write you like a few, write Clarion some songs and flesh the world out.
Ballads.
That and I, as a character, I want him to immortalize us in song because I just want to be like, yep, we're the heroes of Xerathane, and we defended Haddock against the ogres, and we stopped the bliss production because of stupid hags, and I definitely want to.
Did we?
we?
I don't think we're.
Some.
Well, we are the.
One of the
Well, then
distribution
I will
houses.
still say that we are the heroes of Xerathane, and I think that's probably going to be the first one I write.
We blew up 2 Bliss factions. I think Bliss is
Well, I
still
think
very
killing the
strong.
hag, she was probably freaking head.
She was the
Bliss.
Walter White of the.
Yeah, we
Bliss person.
killed Waltress White. So,
Waltress. What else? Who else has something?
I don't know what I'm gonna do now. Like,
Oh, wait, if you're a werewolf.
I guess I'll no. That aside,
Oh, with your arc being
I
closed.
just
Yeah.
like I don't. I guess we got to see where we end up starting season 2.
There is something that I'm trying to start is sort of like exploring a lot of these characters
Mhm.
in ways that they haven't been, like sort of
Yeah. I guess-
nullifying.
I guess it will be kind of nice because now that like it's been such a consuming thing for Vel, is just read is that he'll actually develop as a character a little
Yeah.
more now that that's
His mission is.
you know
over.
it's like now that that's over, it's like what's left, and that'll be kind of-
Who is
that'll,
Belle? without-
that'll be really fun to explore. So
and especially how if. What do you guys think? Do you think it solved the immortality problem? of the
yeah,
elves?
figuring that out too is going to be.
well, that's a tough
I
one.
don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think it
I
goes
bet-
much deeper.
I think that's a part of it. I think
Absolutely.
it's part of a larger whole, and that maybe there's something else going on, or maybe there are like more.
We have to collect all three. We have to collect a ruby, a sapphire, and an
mean,
emerald.
right,
You
yeah.
have the sapphire.
We definitely have
the blue one.
She's the goddess of the moon.
Yeah, the goddess of the moon.
Which one?
Ooh.
Well, the outer moon.
Oh.
Yeah.
The outer moon,
Well, the
because
outer moon.
this side doesn't see the inner moon.
Double stamp, triple stamp,
So,
cannon, multiple moons.
Oh no, that's
No,
definitely
That's why I was thinking like
multiple moons.
it
There are
might
multiple
go
moons.
deeper. There might be an imbalance in something that many people on the outer plane don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
There's a,
That is true.
That's the interesting thing is like we have no way of knowing what that really did, and then even if it did solve the whole problem, which I doubt, it's like proving that it did is going to be all but impossible for like 1,000 years or so. I guess you find like a really old elf and like stare at them for 10 years
Yeah.
and see if they.
I mean, you find the
keel over.
oldest elf, and you're just-
Chicky Doo in Easterton was
Yeah,
like
that was-
900 and
You're giving away my plans for next season already, guys.
yeah, and in the time jump, we might know the answer to that.
Mhm.
That's true.
maybe. It'd be very interesting to see.
He could be like an elf
I'm-
celebrity. He's like the oldest elf, and
I'm kind of anti.
They're just
I don't
waiting.
know, and I'm kind of anti time jump because I mean, if we're going on, if the season 2 question is open, then I think we've got a war to fight. I think that's an active war, and
Yeah, that's what I was
Nostromo is just sitting there waiting with an army.
Yeah.
Is it an active war? Because I mean, not only like Land's aside, Garay is kind of the spook. He's like the unofficial.
Yeah.
You know, it's like CIA,
yeah,
non-CIA.
He's like J. Edgar Hoover, basically.
But
Exactly.
he does wear the symbol of Easter, so he does have like
There's some official
he wasn't
ties
true.
there.
there's an
Yeah.
official tie to Easter. So I don't know. That's
I mean,
Steven's
I think
fault.
Easter is going to know if whatever we do with him. I think he's going to notice that Garay is gone, and he's going to try and find out where he went.
I guess-
And so I think we're just going to have like Black Arrow kind of presence trying to get Garay back or whatever.
I guess the question that we really need to ask is like not whether that war, like yes, we need to answer that whether that war is going to happen or not, but also whether it's interesting to see us play through that, because that could really
Yeah.
just be a series of combats if there's nothing
That's also
going
true.
on underneath that, and we
I-
could just cover that in the time jump and be like, hey,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it might be kind of cool media res to jump in mid-war. Well, we'll get to that in a
Yeah.
minute. Anything about season 1 before we say goodbye and head on into
Which
season
status
2?
of Cold Iron Wars? So I mean, obviously they didn't get through the gate.
Oh,
But
so
they're
Cold
still-
Iron
she's still
Wars are
going.
still technically going.
that's a dangling thread as well. Yeah,
Cold Iron Wars are still happening. The humans are safe on the outside, and perhaps that dwarven city will hold for a while. But we'll have to see what happens. I don't
Move the
know.
door forward.
I can't wait. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's
Like,
going
take
on.
the door and move it forward.
Yeah.
And giant stone wheels.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Jamie's powers now, but I'm really looking forward to the showdown between him and the Mother's New Warlock at some point in the far
Oh,
future.
yeah.
That'll. She's got one. I think I know who it might be.
Oh man.
If you make it Gregory, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be too much.
No.
Don't you or Christine Baby? I do not want.
Christine's
Whoa.
baby.
You're all over the
Bait
place.
anywhere near any of my kids, if I even have any. Which would also be answered in
I don't know if
time
you-
jump if we do have.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did on that horse ride, so I'm gonna leave that to the dice.
Whoa.
A lady never kisses and tells.
That's right.
All right.
Anyway,
But I don't know. I felt like at the end, I felt a little hanging for Christine. I don't know. I guess I just don't really know where to go next.
I think a lot of people are feeling that way, and I think that's kind of the open-ended sort of nature of the arc closing, which I kind of left on purpose so that there isn't anything too incredibly driving, so that you guys can kind of have the freedom. We can pick a new thread up if we want. We don't necessarily have to follow the old one.
Well, that's perfect for a season ender. That's awesome. Is like, okay, what do we do next? I mean,
Yeah.
that's
it's
But there's
cliffhangers.
lots of things you could do.
because it opens our options. We're not limited to railroading. I think it's very cool.
Railroading.
We're creating a railroad.
Did you guys feel railroaded? The whole.
No.
There were a few points, but it was never severe, and I never resented it because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
felt like it was was pushing us towards something more interesting than probably we were going to do anyway. And you know, when our main interest is developing our characters rather than like getting the awesome loot and stuff, you almost like being railroad a little bit feels okay because you feel like it's pushing you towards more interesting character development at a lot of points. So yeah,
DM knows best.
Well,
yeah. We didn't want to take all the leads you gave us, like go to the north, and we're like, screw you, DM, we're going to Sherry. It's like, I didn't want to do that at all. You know.
But what an interesting because even when it seems like I'm railroading you guys, if you guys give me resistance, I'm totally willing to throw up my when Rasper was getting ready to walk out of the town today, and we're all just looking at it and he's like. And I walk towards the gate, and I'm like,
what if he just leaves?
I was ready to just be like, yeah, let's see where this goes. I was totally ready to just throw out whatever I had and just.
I was thinking about how far I could get the army away from the town before they burn it down or something like that, but then I got a sense that this was going to throw the whole thing for a loop.
I would not have minded. It would have certainly been interesting if he led you far into the woods and.
Yeah, I was thinking we might not be able to improvise as deep of an environment as maybe the town as a setting. And in the moment, I think it worked because we had to go back to the town. I think without knowing that.
I'm going to say that's an interesting challenge for us because that is we have a different approach to the game than a lot of games that we've played perhaps in the past, but we're still sort of falling into a different kind of metagaming where it's is this what I'm supposed to do in this moment? Is this the interesting choice to make rather than is this the choice Rasper would make? Is this the choice Val would make? And it's really kind of I'm not saying we're not doing it poorly by any means, but I just think it's really interesting how that sort of enters, because we were all talking about struggling with that a little just a second ago before we turned the cameras on, and I think it's fascinating. I don't think there's necessarily an easy answer for it, but it's really fun watching us develop in this medium and stuff.
It is.
Yeah.
Anyone any last thoughts? Rob, any last thoughts?
More procure.
More, yeah.
Now that Procure has to procure Rasper and Garay.
Yeah,
that's.
Will he get rehired after failing twice?
Here's the thing: is the procurer trying to procure Rasper for what he's done with Garay? Where's the connection between the procurer and the Black Arrow happening?
Who hired the procurer?
If the procurer is prepaid, does he do the job anyway, and then Rasper just gets dropped off at the set location? But no one's there to.
There's a contract on the plane of law for Rasper, and there is no stopping the procurer. He is.
Yeah, there's a specific drop-off point, and
he's
then
an axiomatic being who has one goal.
It's to the letter. Yeah,
it's to the letter.
Yeah, I mean, because he's
a bureaucratic
pure
society.
Law.
Yeah.
Oh my god! But yeah, I'm excited for season 2. We kind of started this seeing can we make D&D fun for the web, and I think we've grown. If you look at our first episode, from a technical camera side, lighting side, sound side, and then performance side. Yeah. To this last episode.
I think we've all grown exponentially,
Yeah, there's been a lot of iteration and improvement. So I'm excited to see how much more fun can we make D&D.
There's a lot more like I said, I can't wait to see us develop more too, because we're already, the stuff we're talking about for season 2 is really pretty exciting just as far as upping, figuring out our aesthetics a little better and getting and the story stuff and everything's just very exciting. So
well, let's call it there. It sounds like we really want to talk about season 2, but I don't want to spoil anything. This has been a special edition of Afterwards for Threshold Arc 1. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Comment below what you thought of the season, what you thought of Threshold in general. What do you want to see in season 2? I want to hear what you want to see. And also, let's start talking in earnest about how we can, through games and the community at whole, your guys' own personal games set in the world of Threshold. We're starting to flesh this big world out. Let's start a conversation about how we can move it into season 2, really implement that, what the best way to do it is. Hopefully we'll have something together by the time this airs, kind of as a loose skeleton for figuring out what that is. But thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, share, send your friends, write, talk about us, and we'll see you in the new year.